Well, Slanche, I do Buckaroos, Alec. I decided to go one more today because it'll be tomorrow when the video's over. So if I do another one, it'll still be tomorrow. It won't be today. So one more today. Anyway, I digress. Put a lot of thought into that, as you can see. It's been a day, man. Give me just a moment. Let me get something fixed here real quick. There we go. And now we're back in business. All righty then. Oh, mercy. So I am going to have a cocktail with you. I fixed one up. I'm going to have a beer with you first, though. And what better beer to have this time of year? The classic Sierra Nevada Celebration Fresh Hop IPA usually comes around just before Thanksgiving. Still got a couple left. Family owned and operated. How about that? 6.8%. A lot of folks sort of mistook this as a spiced IPA. It's never been a spiced IPA. But because of the name, a lot of folks assumed it was without researching. It's a fresh hop IPA. It may change some from year to year, but it's always a fresh hop IPA. Look how beautiful that pours. I love that color on this particular beer, man. I really, really do, man. I really like it, man. anyways, I digress. Oh, so it's the end of the week for me. I got tomorrow off, but then I'm back on Monday and Tuesday. Typically, Tuesday and Wednesday would be my days off, but Tuesday being New Year's Eve, we decided to open, and I decided I'd work. It kind of went both ways there, man. They decided they wanted to open, and I decided, okay, why not? anyways, anyways, I digress. Well, in some ways, I like to have the day off, sure, but I also know me that I'd start drinking early if I was off because I do every year. So, what the hell? Am I supposed to be working? I won't be able to start drinking until about 8. I may make it to midnight, and I got Wednesday off, so what the hell? Uh, there we are. Anyway, I forgot what I was doing for a second there. Let me set that down. Oh, yeah, I just remembered what I was doing. Got talking and forgot what I was supposed to do there. Nevertheless, so I did pour myself a celebration. I made myself a cocktail that I will bring shortly, bring up shortly. But I want to drink this beer with you first. Let me try to take care of something real quick. Bear with me, and it'll have my undivided attention. Hope everybody's doing all right out there, and the holidays are treating you nicely. Now, I do tend to say Merry Christmas most of the time, but sometimes Happy Holidays is more appropriate. Sometimes whatever the holiday is more appropriate. For my friends that celebrate Festivus, I say Merry Festivus. For my friends that celebrate Hanukkah, I say Happy Hanukkah. My friends that celebrate Kwanzaa, I say Happy Kwanzaa. I'm not really sure why it seems to be an issue what we say. That's why a lot of folks say Happy Holidays because it encompasses all of them, and it's not slighting anybody. And I find that really bizarre. You still got those militant Christians that think somehow they're being slighted if everybody in the world doesn't say Merry Christmas to them. Nobody's stopping you from saying Merry Christmas. Nobody's getting offended that you say Merry Christmas. But other people may say something else, and maybe you need to get your panties out of a bunch and just realize it's not always just about you. Anyway, Slancha actually had a social media friend unfriend me over such things. I admit I was kind of poking the bear because he was going on about this war on Christmas and nonsense. So every time he'd post Merry Christmas, I'd post Merry Festivus or Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah. I'd post something else. Or I'd comment on his thing, those things. Anyway, I just don't understand that militant attitude, why it's all or nothing. Just because somebody doesn't say Merry Christmas to you, you're not being slighted. You're not being persecuted. Nobody's stopping you from doing anything. Folks are just choosing their right or using their rights to celebrate something else. You insisting they say Merry Christmas, well, that makes you the oppressor, but you can't make folks like that understand that simple logic. If you don't do everything the way they think it ought to be done, all of a sudden they're being oppressed. No, you're not being oppressed. You're just being an asshole. You're just being a dickweed. So quit it. Stop it. Knock it off. Anyway, cilantro. I love this beer, man. I love it for a lot of reasons. I love it because it is a fresh hop IPA. I love it because it was way ahead of its time, and I can't remember. It does amaze me tasting it now. What folks with the palate they had back then thought, "Holy crap!" But I also love that now it feels like kind of a throwback. Well, back when it was ahead of its time, but now it feels like a throwback. With today's IPAs being so light in malt, so light in color, an almost red IPA feels like a throwback to a bygone era, to a time past. Anyway, gosh, this beer is delicious, though. It just makes you feel good all over. Big flavors. So they've thrown me off since they've gone to cans because they used to put a little story on the back of the bottle, but they don't on the can. I think they have enough room. Apparently, they just don't want to. They want to make you look it up on their website, man. But they used to have a little story on the back of the bottle. anyways, I digress. As we were now past Christmas, heading towards New Year's, some folks are thinking of resolutions. A lot of folks will do dry January. But now they've come up with sober October, so I'm not sure why these people think they need 2 months. You can have dry January or you can have October, but you can't have both months. That hurts the industry too much, man. A lot of people working at liquor stores, bars, breweries, distilleries. They can't be slow for 2 months out of the year. You got to pick one and stick with it. You want to be dry January? Hey, man, I get it. But you can't have sober October then. You got to pick one or the other. Anyway, I digress. I never do dry January or sober October, mostly because I'm a little bit oppositional defiant. I'm not going to do something because you said that's what it is. That's why I never do the no shave November. I never do any of those particular months. If I'm going to do no shave, it's going to be on my terms. I quit shaving in October because I'm going to listen to you people in November. So if I'm going to pick a sober month, it's not going to be January or October because now you've pissed me off. I'll pick 2 weeks on the end of the month and 2 weeks at the beginning of the month. Anyway. Taco Tuesday is another one. Taco Tuesday. I can eat tacos Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday if I choose to. You can't tell me I can only eat tacos on a Tuesday. And for you Mexican restaurants, hey man, you can put that stuff on sale anytime you like. Powers that be trying to tell you what to do, trying to keep the man down. No, we got to rise up. We got to rise up. If I don't want to eat tacos on a Wednesday, by golly, even tacos on a Wednesday. Meatless Monday. Now, who came up with this shit? Used to be Meatloaf Monday. I'm still not doing that. But I'm certainly not going meatless on a Monday. Vegans want to tell you it's healthier. Have you ever seen a healthy looking vegan? I mean, they always look like they're this close to death. Why does every 35-year-old vegan I come across look like they're 60? It can't be all that healthy, man. Then why are they trying to make everything taste like meat? And you look at the ingredients on those products, right? And they don't look healthy. There's no meat in them, but there's all sorts of other shit going on there. Not to mention the amount of sodium that's in these products, man. I don't know why they want to tout these as being healthy. You look at the meat products, the vegan meat products. They usually have like a week's worth of salt in them. Holy crap! Why are they eating this shit? Just eat bacon, man. There's less salt and bacon in the shit you're eating. Anyway, uh, trying to eat healthier, I am, but there's certain things I'm not giving up. I ain't giving up bacon, for instance. And I'm not going vegan for any. Even I've had a couple conversations with not my personal doctor, but people that are doctors, and both told me that the vegan lifestyle isn't really healthy. It is really hard to get the amount of protein and other vitamins that you need from other sources. You really got to be trying hard to get there. Cut down on certain things, cut down on fatty meats, cut down on red meat and go to other things. I get that. It's like that old joke goes, you can give up everything and give up meat, give up sugar, have a healthy lifestyle, exercise every day. You won't live longer, but it'll feel like it won't live any longer, but it sure will feel like it. I mean, if there was ever a reason to just do whatever the hell you want to do, all you got to do is look at Willie Nelson. I mean, how can you argue with that? Don't do drugs. Well, Willie seems to be doing okay. I mean, he's still alive. He looks healthy and he seems rather sharp. So if there's a campaign against weed, I suggest you not talk about Willie because he's making you all look bad. Now, he may not be the norm. I get that, but I'm not sure how you can argue with those results. If you listen to interviews with Willie Nelson, yeah, he's still pretty damn sharp. And he's still smoking a lot of weed. So there you go. Alcohol's not good for you. Yeah, it's probably not. It's probably not, but um, I think a lot of it depends on how you use whatever, right? If you're using whatever you're using to forget, to mask, to hide, it's probably not a good idea. But for me, I mean, I enjoy alcohol, which is why I do it. There are days I am extremely depressed about one thing or another, and then I will make sure I don't drink because that's not going to be what I want. I want to drink when I can enjoy the products. So I like to buy products that are enjoyable. I'm not buying cheap, crappy stuff just to get a certain level of a high. I want to buy good products that I can sit, relax, and enjoy. When I get off work or when I have a day off, I can relax. Oh, let's try this. That looks good. Weed is now legal in the state I'm in. It's now recreational too. I could get a medical card, although I haven't yet. I should though, because I have Tourette's, so I could get a medical card, but it is recreationally legal here now, so I don't necessarily need to. But although I tried other things as a younger person, this has always been the drug that I preferred. A lot of it is because of the delivery system, right? I like this, especially craft beer or good whiskey. I like this. I like the checking the nose. I like letting it warm up, checking, the flavor, seeing how things change, the pairings. There are times I'll be sitting down, I'll pour myself a nice pour, and it'll be 20 minutes before I even take the first drink. I'll just be checking the nose, setting it down, checking the nose, setting it down. It's about that relaxation, the enjoyment of it all, if you will. I'm going to finish this up. I'm going to grab my cocktail, so bear with me. I'll be right back. Oh. All right, so here's what I got here, folks. Oh, I lost a couple, darn. I told you I'd be right back, damn it. Anyway, two people left. Ain't that a bitch? So ain't that a bitch? So, kind of using the idea of a Manhattan or an old fashioned kind of, and just doing a little riff on it. What I have here is 2 ounces of the Watershed Distillery. This is straight bourbon whiskey that's aged in apple brandy barrels and blended with other straight bourbon whiskeys. It's at 4 years old and 90 proof. Let me show you that bottle. And then I added 1 ounce of the Laird's straight apple brandy, or Applejack, if you will. This is their bottled in bond at 100 proof. So 2 ounces of the whiskey, 1 ounce of the Applejack, and just a couple dashes of some ginger bitters to kind of bring out the flavors of the apple. Then I have a dried apple and a cherry garnish. Cherry, I had them together at first, but the apple flowed to the top and the cherry sank to the bottom. What are you going to do? What are you going to do, man? Anyway, Sláinte, let's enjoy. This and this etched cordial that my wife found somewhere. I have no idea where, but it's just a beautiful glass. So I like to use it as much as possible. Because even though I'm a frumpy old fag guy, I like elegant things every once in a while. I like a presentation. anyway, anyway, I digress. These products just work so good together. It's just amazing how they blend the Applejack with that whiskey, that whiskey that's finished in apple brandy barrels. Oh my lord! And then Laird's is the name in Applejack. Man, they are a legend. Founded in 1780, America's oldest family of brandy distiller. out of New Jersey, of all places. So I do love their products, though. I do a podcast with some friends, Jersey Johnny and the Beer Samurai, called And a Chaser, where we do a beer and whiskey pairing. And one of the folks that watch us rather religiously suggested we do a show based on or using Laird's, particularly as a base for the whiskey, and then do a beer pairing with. I would love to do a cocktail with that. I have several cocktails that I've done using the Laird's. I would love to do that show. Uh, these are just dried apples that I bought at a Trader Joe's because I thought they'd make a nice garnish. I mean, you can eat them. You can. Some people do, I hear. But I think they make a perfect garnish in certain cocktails. I was using mostly in fall cocktails, but which is what I originally designed this one for. But I just felt like it sounded good now. Feels like we're in that limbo or purgatory, right? We're somewhere between Christmas and New Year's. We're not quite there, but we're past there. What do we do now with ourselves? What do we do now, man? So yeah, typically I stay home on New Year's. My wife and I, we don't get out usually on New Year's. We don't want to go with the masses going crazy. There was a time when I was younger, when our kids were young, I said, boy, I wish we could do some of these things. There'd be a lot of stuff advertised. I thought I'd like to do. Now that it's just the Wi-Fi, we don't have that. Don't have the kids. I said, I don't want to do that. I don't want to have to be out there amongst people. I don't have to want. I don't want to have to be wearing clothes at midnight still. Anyway. It seemed like, though, there was a lot more happening back then. It seemed like there were a lot of bands playing at hotels and things. There were bands kind of past their prime, right? Uh, that I would have liked to have seen anyway. They're doing these, New Year's Eve shows, but there doesn't seem to be a lot of that anymore. I'm looking at the gigs that are happening around town, and it doesn't seem like much. Even the so-called fancier gigs at the pricey hotels, they seem to be charging a whole lot and not giving you much in return. Because I'm always looking, oh, well, what if this particular band does this, I would go, but that never happens. I missed my window of opportunity, apparently. It seems like back in the 90s, especially, there were a lot of bands from the 60s and early 70s that were doing these New Year's Eve gigs. I wouldn't mind seeing them. That'd be a lot of fun, but we had kids and we couldn't do that sort of thing. And so now you'd be thinking, okay, maybe there'd be bands from the 70s or 80s that are doing these gigs, and that'd be fun. But nah, they're not for some reason, or places are booking them, or nobody wants to spend any money anymore. They want to put an inexpensive act up there, but let you pay a whole lot of money to go. But unfortunately, a lot of people do that, I guess, and that's why they're able to get away with it. I ain't doing it. I just don't care enough anymore. I like to be in my sweats and pajamas as much as humanly possible anymore. So, if I'm not going to work or having to be somewhere to do something specific, now I'm home and I'm in my jammies, man. I'm all about being comfortable. Well, if my wife's lucky, I'm in my jammies. Sometimes I'm in less than that, which probably isn't pleasant for her. But yeah, I'm in nothing more than my jammies. If I'm at home, I'm with jammies, sweats. That's how New Year's has become, though, too. I just want to get comfortable. We usually plan. We always did when the kids were little. We always did like a lot of hors d'oeuvres. It's kind of a tradition from when I was a kid. So we kind of added that to our family. But now it's just us. So we try to do that as well. It'll be a little different this year since it'll be probably about 8 o'clock before I can get home. But I do have some stuff planned, or some food available. Let me say that, not necessarily planned. That isn't hard to fix. I mean, I got some Dungeness crab legs, and I've got some lobster meat we can do some things with. Probably want to pick up some other things, do more of a charcuterie board, get us some nice meats and cheeses. But I do, man. We got a lot of crab. Yeah, 2 pounds of crab, baby. We can go wild. Ah, man, that's a nice cocktail. That really does. That watershed's doing some crazy products, crazy good products. I mean, I've got two unopened, and I really want to open. Really, I just killed one over Christmas, and I've got two unopened that I really want to open, and I'm trying to not open, if you know what I mean. I want to open them, but I want to keep them right there for now. One of them will probably get opened on New Year's. Haven't decided which one yet, though. Both are very special, so I haven't figured that out yet. Uh, Anyways, I digress, and I better wrap this up. So, if anybody is still there, I'm John the Beer Whisperer, Beer Evangelist, prolific beer drinker, purveyor of wisdom, and I'm also Tom the Whiskey Evangelist, prolific whiskey drinker, purveyor of wisdom, man. All around good guy. Lunch.